behind me. This is gonna be. Then I hear some feet walk up. Look, I see a pair of sneakers. I look up. Who's standing there? Bobby Orr.
Bobby
It's
Orr.
me, my childhood god, Robert Gordon Orr, and he's waiting for me. Watch me drive.
Oh no!
I go, Bobby. I go, turn around.
You can't do stunts. Oh my gosh!
And he jumps right in there. Of course, he's driving him. And again, guy with no knees,
Right.
driving him dead straight down the middle.
Really?
But it was like surreal. I got my. It's just me and him.
Did he give you any tips though?
Well, yeah, he said, get out of the game. You see? He goes, you played football, didn't you? I go,
Yeah, that's
but
what my dad told me with everything.
so.
No, I don't know. I was bad at pretty much every sport, so I don't have any cool stories. The only thing is, when you do jiu-jitsu, you get to you get to actually roll and train with really good people. And it's different because it's one-on-one and you're effectively fighting. It's controlled. But there were some times I roll with someone, and do that, and you have a coach come over and say, do you know who that is? Like, no, I don't know. Like, you did blank on so and so, and you should feel good about that. Like,
You
wow.
came on who?
No, come on now. No, but you get to roll with really, really good people, and there aren't many sports where you get to actually experience excellency firsthand. Where you go, oh, that's what it's like to be that good. Like there are levels to everything. And
I get knocked out by guys that drafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
it's when you play football. Yeah.
Yeah, there are guys that got hit by Ray Lewis at the age of 16.
That's right.
So
That's right.
and one guy who was stabbed by him. So that's so fun.
They steer their wheelchair with their tongue now.
Remember these guys my age will come up. Hey, Darren, do you play golf? No, I fight a death match with guys half my age 3 days a week.
I know, you're a scary.
No, it's like a different hobby.
Yeah. It is.
It kind of makes me wonder. You got a little Sandusky in you?
I'll tell you what, though, it's very, very humbling because
Is he still doing time? He's got it. We were talking about him the other day.
You think he's getting out?
Ever? I don't know.
well, the African guy, the South African guy who killed his girlfriend with the paperclip legs got out.
Yeah, but she was a bitch.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure Sandusky
These
probably.
kids-
I'm sure some of them probably weren't the nicest guys.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
I had it coming.
I played Russian roulette with Amy Winehouse.
I thought it'd be spin the bottle.
Who won?
Before she was anybody.
I won. She's dead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Like with sport, we talk about strength training sports, and I'm pretty proud here at this place of work. People tend to get smarter. People tend to get more bold, and especially the men tend to get stronger. We have a gym here. We did jiu-jitsu for before I got the bars in my chest for a while. Where we'll start it back up once maybe we just have Jeff do it and set up some mats. But
Jeff wants to.
I know he wants. Yeah, I know he wants to. We just have to figure out a space. But
Me and Johnny Boy keep scaring Jeff, like popping out and spooking him. And you should really watch the hell out. Because he's gonna really mess us up one day.
oh no, Jeff is freakishly strong.
Oh, I know. I can tell by he wears these shirts that show off his collarbone or whatever. What are these muscles? I don't have them.
Traps.
Traps. Yeah, thank you.
Wait,
You got to
which
train
one's
that
Jeff?
collarbone.
I've seen nobody that looks like that.
He does our. He comes in like a couple days a week. He does. He helps us with the insurance, like the 401ks and stuff like that for employees here. And he is a freak athlete.
Who's the big guy that was at the steakhouse that night?
No, that's total. 6'8", 340.
Yeah, and ripped.
Yeah.
That guy.
Exactly.
No, Kevin.
I've been around pro football players, and I'm like, this guy.
And the sweetest, quietest guy. Super nice.
Yeah, until you try to touch his wife.
Well, don't do that.
I would advise against that.
I didn't know it was his wife.
Kevin is bordering on when you first meet him, like debilitatingly shy. He's so shy and quiet. He's just that way. And what's funny though is he's really big, and Kevin, I love you, brother. He's one of my favorite people of all time. But after a few drinks, and it takes a lot of drinks because he drinks like Coors Light or something. He's that big.
Right.
After a few drinks, he's not an angry drunk at all. But it's like it focuses him. You can tell he's
Like,
irritated if you don't know what he's talking about. So he's really into motorsports. And he said,
Thank God he's on our
I
side.
don't even remember the name. It's like, in this motocross today, there's a 250cc, and he was like, whatever he said. Joe Cochran, right? And I was like, no. He goes,
The fuck your
you
problem?
know Joe Cochran, don't you? I'm like, yes.
It's a bitch.
Yeah. He goes,
Oh, that Joe.
Yeah, he came out under Carmichael. I'm like, yes. He goes, okay. So you do. And he goes over the story. Like, he's not going to go on unless he knows that you're tracking. And it's just because he's so big and scary that you're like, oh, yeah, no, he's the best. He was not the best. He's ranked like fourth. Like, he's one of them.
Amongst them. But he does those Baja races.
They have to reinforce the trucks. Because he's so big.
Yeah, I love those trophy truck races.
And he's got Louder with Crowder on the side of his truck.
Yeah, he did. He just put it on. He's like, hey, I was like, well, I don't know if
That's awesome.
He's like, I just put it on because it'll piss off the right people.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude, he's a guy who's just salt of the earth, very wealthy, just
Down to earth
opening.
guy though, yeah.
Yeah.
Said that. Seen.
But back to Jeff, same guy, same personality, very quiet, mild mannered, trained killer in jiu-jitsu, a black belt. But
One of the first black
we
belts.
went to lunch
Also
yesterday.
an Army veteran.
Yeah, we went to lunch yesterday. I've never seen road rage like this in my life.
I know, I know.
He was cut off by some guy.
Did the word fuck stick make an appearance? Because that's what he does.
He even said it, the way he says it too is just so southern and hospitable.
Yeah, I know, but it's.
Oh, he snapped.
Oh yeah, did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought, and I said, hey, careful in Texas, Jeff, he might have a gun. I've got two. Oh my God. I'm going to witness a murder today.
Self-defense, to be clear.
And he's so hard to. Jeff is. He's very, very good. But he's so hard to choke because he has like he's bald and shaved his head, and he has like a thick neck, so it's like trying to choke a bean. You're like, you can't get a hold of him. He just tucks his chin.
He's always sweating. It's a
He's
hard,
just yeah, because he keeps scaring.
I know. I gotta stop scaring him. He's gonna kick my ass.
But we have some characters just in our lives that we've been able to meet here through this through working here. That's a lot of fun. But he was one of the first actually.
All that water.
Black belt, right? The Machados, who are related to the Gracies,
Mhm.
and he was one of the first 10, I believe, first
Big
10
time
black
flooding
belts.
going
He
on.
was a second wave. He talks about it. That when Machado moved here to train Walker Texas Ranger. That's why
That's
he came
right.
to Dallas. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and he would tell that early on, those Brazilians, a lot of them, they wouldn't teach you the stuff that they didn't want
Good stuff.
Americans to know.
It's like getting a sauce recipe from your Italian grandma.
Is that what they do?
Get all back the nice good stuff.
That's why mine
They leave out
sucks.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it. Really? Mayonnaise?
Did you see
Yeah. Right.
Fucking greasy.
game last night?
And now the best jiu-jitsu player
I
in
did.
the world is a white American guy.
It's not even close.
They hate it.
Oh, yeah, it's not even close.
I know.
This Gordon Ryan.
Who do you
guy,
think
he writes
won?
He writes down how he's going to beat his opponent. He puts it in a little treasure box and locks it, and then he does the match and he pulls it out afterwards. He goes, "Yep, arm."
Who does that?
Not armbar. Guy named Gordon
Matt
Ryan.
actually got
And he
a
got-
chip
yeah,
lead
Gordon
on me
Ryan-
for
Gordon Ryan, he
2
got
hands, I
his
think.
beard And his hair white, so he says, like, you just beaten by a guy. who looks
I
the
took
same.
it all
Oh my
back.
God, I love this guy. He's
Yeah,
a
he's in
UFC
Austin.
guy? No.
Right here in
No,
Austin.
no, he's done. They do grappling matches in the UFC. He's done that, but yeah. Well, yes, he's all natural.
What in Christ's
I
creation?
know.
His ass must
He's
have
very
got
open about it, though. He's very open
Well,
about it.
he has to be.
Yeah, well, he's
That Ozempic is.
yes.
Yeah, I know eating skinless chicken would.
That's all.
Be right back.
I think we, and yeah, he's a character. I think we showed that video of him where a Brazilian tried to intimidate him after his dad died. And the guy came up in the face hard, and then he kept walking, and the guy came back up like, hey, and he slapped him again.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's go. You want to go? Like he was not having it. I think he was
Was
wearing
this
a
in the
shirt.
ring?
No, it was
On
at
the
the
sidewalk,
hotel
like
backstage.
The guy wouldn't shake his hand.
And the guy came up to him and tried to like talk crap and wouldn't shake his hand, and he kind of got in his face, and so his dad had just died, Gordon Ryan. He was fed up, and he just smacked, but like a punch, a smack. And he's like, "You want to do it? Okay, let's go." He kept walking. The guy followed him again. He looked up and he smacked him again, and the guy didn't do anything.
That's the biggest bitch thing you could do to somebody.
No, in Brazilian culture,
No,
it's a
to make
real.
them- to make
It's a
them-
real affront.
yeah,
Yeah.
Make them the bitch. Yeah.
Well, because this guy was also a world champion and was talking a bunch of crap, and like, although it seems like a decent guy outside of this,
Yeah.
it was just a scenario that was a pressure cooker, and he wasn't having it. Imagine being
I don't
that
blame him.
confident.
They don't like that he's the best. They really.
No, they really don't.
No, it's like if a black guy was the best at hockey, Canadians would go nuts.
Or Matt.
Or if Luka Doncic were.
Or
wait a
Reed.
minute.
Oh, jeez.
Or Caitlin Clark. What?
Well, the basketball thing's not as prevalent as the hockey thing.
We got the
Or
white.
the reading.
No, there are some really good black hockey players.
Yeah,
That's a cultural thing. They'd be great in hockey.
Yeah, I'm sure that's.
Go, the
I mean,
few that are there are
Thompson
great.
amazing.
Are fantastic.
No, yeah, they dominate, but they again,
They dominate.
they would.
They come from tropical at best, subtropical climates. They don't want to.
No, exactly, and that and the you know what you call it.
You know, having your dad drive you to the rink. Let's grab some chats.
Granted, he's Keaton Thompson.
Had to run singer.
Steven's got to wrangle us up. You know.
I'm in a new band called Selective Breeding.
It's a country album. From Bama Girl in Texas, question for the crew. Is there not some sort of abandoned property and found/possession law that should apply to the case of the lady that found Ashley Biden's diary? I mean, she didn't steal it. She found it after it was left behind for quite an amount of time.
I don't know the amount of time. If I'm not mistaken, it was found like under a mattress or something. house.
Well, she went to jail. That argument's been considered.
Yeah, but
found
again,
wanting.
they could selectively.
Found under Joe's mattress.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they found it under the shower mat. I don't know. I don't know how it applies. I don't know the amount of time. And I think it also varies state to state. That's what happened with Giuliani. Obviously, the Hunter Biden laptop, he just left it at Geek Squad and didn't pick it up. So it wasn't stolen. It was perfectly legal. It doesn't matter. They'll just find another. They'll find another lie anyway. In other words, if everything was done legally, they would find something else to hang this person on. That's what they're doing with Donald Trump. That's what they're doing with Alex Jones. They've tried to do it with myself. They try to do it with anyone who they want to eliminate. You see it right now. For example, they just moved the goalpost from unarmed black man to black man shot by police. It's too many bullets. Like, well, because now the guy was armed. The guy was shooting at police officers. He was a violent criminal. They'll just move the goalpost. So maybe you're right, but it's irrelevant as far as what they would do anyway.
He shot first, the guy.
Yes.
The guy shot first. That's a fact.
Yeah, many times.
And
Yeah.
it's these people idiots.
You would think it's pretty cut and dry, but nope. They see race as more important than bullets being fired. The projectiles leaving the gun, going by the police officer's head 9 times at least, potentially 11 times. Totally irrelevant because he has a darker shade of skin. That's how the media views it. I just disagree.
I'm sorry. One of the cops was hit. They're not talking about this.
Oh, wow.
Was one of the, one of the cops was hit, and he is. Guess what race?
Black.
Fucking black, dude.
No.
I thought I saw black.
Talking about.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Young black kid, such a victim. How about the black officer? You fuck.
And
Well, you want the intersectional Trump card? That's the hand reaching in the door handle. The woman saying "open the door" may have been a person of color. I don't know.
There was a Hispanic officer too. You can hear him. You can hear
Okay.
his accents in the background. Then you get the black cop on the other side.
Yeah.
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's black.
None of the card. Ooh.
But it's like in Chicago. It's a melting pot. Everyone,
Yeah. I mean, it's a melted pot.
they don't want to. Yeah.
I thought it was, I couldn't tell by the hand because I could only see the palm. Let's grab the next chat.
All right, from Ray Ray 1776. What is your go-to chicken chain restaurant?
Chicken chain. I wear a chicken chain. Just drumsticks.
chicken chain. That's a great name for it.
I wear because it's got all that flavor. This flavor looking good.
They call me Buffalo Wing Bill.
That's more racist than anything I've said today.
Not at all. Favorite chicken chain? I don't know. Bobby, you kind of I'm not. You know, okay, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, I guess I'll go in for that too. Because I don't get the Chick-fil-A thing. I say it all the time. They are nice people, but
No, I know. I had the sandwich. I go, what the fuck? I made this at home.
yeah, it's peanut oil. What? Okay.
Going to my doctor. We're going to go down the stairs. Let me describe it. It was the best fried chicken.
What was the guy?
They were Vietnamese. Vietnamese who owned this convenience store.
It's the
You had
best catfish
kittens. You had
in
kittens.
Seattle. Same thing.
Same thing.
Best catfish in Seattle is a gas station. My friend Nara took me to. Vietnamese owned, yeah.
They just did a great job. They didn't do anything else. They just had it, and I saw them bringing them out fresh because I saw a bunch of people buying it, so this must be a thing. And I've still never had fried chicken better.
In Savannah, in the South in general, I guess, but in Savannah, Parker's gas station has great fried chicken.
Yeah, some places do.
I know a Sunoco got 4 stars from a Zagat. But they have Publix fried chicken.
Okay.
You'll go into the supermarket, there'll be 11 people waiting in line for it. And I'm going, is this because they must be laughing at me? It'll be like an Italian guy saying the best cannolis are at Stop and Shop. or whatever.
Right.
But they're making this chicken fresh the whole day, and it's that's my.
But you still can't get your fillet of fish.
I absolutely.
That's big game.
Guys, I can't wait to write a bit about this one.
And we were here.
You all made me look. You're the only guy. So I Googled how many fillet of fish did they sell last year? 300 million. Yeah, it's 2 black families
Yes.
pouring 300 million.
13% of the population, every resident in the United States.
Thank you.
Yes, black people like their fish. Well,
2 or 3 McDonald's. He's like, he wanted a fillet of fish for lunch.
you live in a racist town, man.
Well, this is why I'm looking at profit.
You're right, though. It's weird that they don't have fish fillets here. They're everywhere.
Is that right, though? They don't have any McDonald's around here?
That's weird.
It does depend too. I would often before shows, just because Dave Williams like, you have to have a ride after. I would just say, oh, okay, you know what, I'll eat like every place I go, like they usually McDonald's oatmeal. They serve it 24 hours a day. I'm like, it's easy. Can get taken to the venue, I can heat it. And I'm like, oh no, they don't have it. And I go to like a different like, oh no, they don't sell oatmeal. Like, all right, okay, I'll just grab. I would try and pick something easy that wouldn't go bad.
Well, that's totally different than a fillet of fish, which has been a household name for.
They've been doing it for a long time.
100
McDonald's
years.
oatmeal.
I didn't even know they had it.
Breakfast at night. That's kind of different.
Well, it's their thing.
It's breaded carb.
It is just oatmeal, though. You just put water in it.
Sucker.
I don't give a shit what it is. It's flash frozen, and I had it's.
They don't even put effort into the picture of the fillet of fish. you go make it look like a picture, with a retarded slice and a bun that looks like Frank Sinatra's fedora, crooked.
You see the kids putting it together, right, with the fucking Gretzky helmet.
But in the picture,
The Jaffa.
Yeah,
The
the
Jaffa.
Jaffa helmet.
Toss
One of my
cheese
oldest
on it.
bits. That was like an open mic bit.
Those are the guys that Zelensky sent into the front lines.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's not a fillet.
That's not a fillet
A
of
fillet
fish.
of fish.
That's too.
one somebody tried to make it home and,
Yeah.
and a porn star finished it off.
That's a fish fillet. That's
That's a whole different thing. Let's I don't know how we
I
can
said, with a racist joke. I said, best catfish I ever had was a gas station, a Vietnamese gas station. Noodles over here. Pass me a note. He goes, more cat, less fish.
Hey, we don't talk like that here.
You weren't getting out of that one.
Let's grab another chat.
From Super Shoe Polish. Question for the crew. With Trump gaining support among the POCs, do you think it'd be worth it to campaign in deep blue areas like New York and Chicago?
No. But places like Atlanta, yes. Places like Detroit,
Yes.
yes. Places like Phoenix, yes. Maybe Milwaukee, but no, not places like New York and Chicago. That's a lost cause. Why waste the time?
Hey, someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They loved him.
You pick a church.
Yeah.
Pick a church because it's usually conservative.
I think the key is people aren't dependent on their city. They aren't dependent on their government.
Yeah.
In cities like Chicago, New York, places like that, people are dependent
Yeah.
Are they ever?
on the government. So, and in Atlanta, though, a lot of people aren't dependent on the government.
No.
Everyone's got jobs. They work at Chick-fil-A, whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're all making a lot of money. I don't know. I didn't get that question. You guys all making
You getting rich?
You guys all getting rich?
They're not brokers.
And
They don't get a commission off the Chick-fil-A.
Go to Buckhead in Atlanta. I mean, this is seceding from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Really?
That's right.
Yeah,
They want to be a district.
They have their own police force, and
Yep.
but then again, I would be preaching to the choir.
So really, only a few,
You know.
only a few key cities. I mean, those are. It's funny because he won 19 out of, I believe, the 21 bellwether counties, or 18 out of the 20, and then he was actually outperforming his 2016 numbers in every major urban metropolitan area, except for like 5 cities in those swing states. Really weird. Occurs nowhere else statistically in nature. But hey, you know what? They're looking out for you. Let's grab another chat.
From decent question asker. As we get closer to the election, do you think the Dems will keep Biden out of fear because he's easy to manipulate, or like a puppet that just follows orders, compared to someone else who could disagree or challenge their extremism to the slightest?
Well, I know we still have the bet. Gerald and Nick don't think it's going to be Biden.
Right.
You still don't.
I still don't.
I don't either.
I don't.
Really?
There's no way.
I don't either. Yeah.
I think it is.
I don't either. I think they're gonna prop up all the numbers that make the DNC look good. Stuff like jobs reports, stuff like that. But I do think they're gonna bring in someone at the last
Yeah.
I think that would be, they would October surprise themselves if they do that, because people would say, okay.
Okay, June surprise.
Yeah, well, no, I just think people now go, okay, you were telling us that he was mentally fit, you had these medical reports released, you attacked
I'm telling you,
people who said
he's going to be pooping in public. No matter what.
he already is.
His Biden messages that come out, they're all these campaign slogans. They're all
Oh my God.
they're all anti-Trump. They're not pro-Biden. They're not like, I did this, I did that. Like every once in a while, I created 15 million jobs, whatever. But it's almost all anti-Trump. It's a setup to be like, hey, it ain't Biden.
It's because he doesn't know who he is anymore.
He's not writing those messages though.
What do you think, Pops? You think that it's going to be someone else, or you think it's going to be Biden?
I've heard.
Hey,
It's gonna
thanks
be
for dropping in.
That's when they pull him out. Who
Seriously?
do they put in? Newsom? I don't know. I mean, I think people will be pissed that he can't do that. Newsom?
No, it's going to be somebody we're not. It has to be a name. I want to say
Whitmer.
I think it's
somebody of that ilk. No, Michelle. Apparently, Alec Axelrod knows the Obamas well, right? He has no reason to lie, and he said, "No, I know that was stupid.
Yeah.
I walked right into that." But he said, Michelle, she hates politics.
Yeah.
She'll stick her nose in here and there, but she can't. That's what. I don't know why he'd say something like
using
that.
proper pronouns.
I mean, they would love that, though. They would love that Donald Trump versus black woman.
Yeah, that ain't gonna.
They would
That
love
might have
it.
flown years ago,
Yeah,
but not.
They don't have a good black
they
woman.
were gonna have OJ do it, but
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Al Cowling, the driver.
Best set plan.
Rip OJ.
Who?
Al Cowling, the guy that was driving the Bronco, he played.
Is he dead?
I don't know. I figure he's a black guy and he's in his 70s. I'm sure diabetes might have got him.
Yeah, it's like 95 in black guy years.
You live on Twizzlers and cherry Coke.
Yes.
It's not a fucking.
Al Collins is still alive.
He
Oh,
is?
son of a bitch.
Let's grab another
That's
shot.
another one of mine.
It's mine.
Oh, you're a creep.
Come push the button.
it's actually
Push this, you motherfucker.
it's Bob Barker's, I think.
Yeah.
They did it when they lowered Barker's casket, right?
Hello.
Hey, what do you nursing, Kayla, whoever was sending them to
Well, yeah. I mean, well,
and-
I mean, all he has to do is log in to the site. I mean, we have a universal login for it too. But I'll just add his email. That's fine.
Thank you.
All right. I got your stuff.
All right, cool.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking women take forever to fucking say anything.
You got a lot of stick finger.
This is a different account, so we don't have all the cool quotes in here.
I didn't know that at all.
He was sued. He was
Absolutely.
sued. multiple
I
times.
didn't know that.
God bless him.
Ah.
God, I would have snipped his thumb for a quarter.
Okay.
Okay. From Girl Anachronism, since big tech has had a death grip on the internet and what we are allowed to see, how would you recommend we seek out accurate information to present in debates when Google is basically useless in displaying accurate information?
Go,
Short on the
go.
question, will you?
Well, I do think, look, that is why we do what we do and make the references available. That's why we do the things like Change My Minds or when we stake out a specific topic so that you can have that information. But you can use Google or Bing and then try and run different cross-reference searches. So read the article, and if you feel like you're sniffing something that's off, cross-reference it, and you can usually find something that counters it, and then you kind of have to make your own inference and see which arguments are strongest. That's why we try and use leftist sources initially on this show if we're introducing a story, and then when we go to truth, we try and pick, if not other liberal sources, objective sources. So I do understand it's a tool that should be readily available. We provide it to you, but it doesn't really exist out there. You kind of have to do your own homework. But there is a way to do it. You just have to put in the legwork, and the show notes are a good place to start. In the chat.
From Celtic Ninja, you say you just need to comply with the cops, but what about protecting our 4th, 5th, and First Amendment rights? Should you always comply?
No, I know Nick said, but I think Nick would agree with me. Like, if they just say, "Hey, we want to search your vehicle for,"
Right.
No.
I do think.
But roll down your window.
Right.
That's very different. Like, hey, roll down. It's like hey, roll down your window. Can I see your license and registration? That's I would expect to be tased if I don't do those.
That and throw in the history of the dynamic between cops and young black.
Right.
I mean, if you're a black dude, they sure in fact don't look scared of the police, which is what we're always told.
That guy did not look scared of the police.
None of them are. None of them. I've never met one.
Was afraid of the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be true.
I totally get where the question's coming from, because you know you don't have to comply with a lot of these things that they say you have to, but I really do want to go back to where I think that there's more than what we're seeing. They tried to make this the next George Floyd, and there's a reason why we haven't seen the full video.
Yeah.
The video starts when the police officer's already out of the vehicle,
Right.
and it's only one body cam that we've got, two maybe. There's more of the story, and I don't think it was just a seatbelt. I think there was evasion of the police, which then you forfeit your whatever, not exactly right, not Fifth Amendment.
No, you don't forfeit your right, but he hadn't even reached the point where it had to do with rights and forfeit. It's like, hey, roll down the window.
Right, but yeah,
roll down your window. Hey, put your hands up. This is just a there are invasion of rights, and then there's trying to be a human being and understanding courtesy, because this guy doesn't know me. I want him to see my hands. I want him to know that I'm not a threat to him, because I'm not trying to be a threat to him. Now, if that dynamic changes where he's a threat to me, saying, I want to search your car, well, no. I want to submit you to, no, you can always request that you actually be taken into the station if they just want to submit you to a breathalyzer test if you don't trust them. So know your being and approaching you with courtesy. I say reciprocate. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily violating rights. And George Floyd, by the way, wasn't the first George Floyd. There's a reason they didn't release those tapes. They didn't show 12 minutes of them actually helping him, getting him in the back, turning on the air, opening the window, saying, I'm not going to leave you, I'm going to stay with you, I'm going to stay with you. And then the guy acted, did he act like a dick? Yeah. Were they setting out to kill George Floyd? Absolutely not. So most of these stories are not what you actually hear.
And how about, grow up without a father, you might not listen to instructions.
Yep.
Think that might factor in?
I think it might factor in. Yep.
You think maybe the gal with the orange wig didn't teach her son how to interact with the local cops?
That's right, Mr. Furman.
Yes.
I agree.
Well, judging by the
Talking about a fake faint.
3 to 4
I want me to believe black people who are the victims of these shitty policies ask for more.
Right.
To the 10th power.
And this goes back to what I was talking about yesterday. Hey, how do you know they're lying? When it's something they never care about, the Second Amendment, patriotism, freedom of speech. How do you know they're lying when you see today's story? Okay. And another young man killed by police officers. You go back to George Floyd. Evil police officers. You go back to Mike Brown. They didn't tell you that he was beating the cop's face in, reaching for his gun. Right? Defund the police. Summer of love. But then they go, and our heroes, the Capitol Police, fearlessly defending the people's house in January. Wait, that's the only time?
Yeah.
It's the only time that you are all of a sudden pro-police. Yeah. That's how you know they're lying.
It's also the only time not just one, but 5 police officers killed themselves after a riot.
Right.
Another black man killed by police while 14 were killed during the solar eclipse. You know, I mean, literally, I mean, in those neighborhoods, it happens all the time, and we just highlight the one because it was a cop.
Yeah. Let's defund the Capitol Police. You don't hear that?
You don't hear that one. That's a good point. All right, final chat of the day.
All right, from Wappler Radar, question for the crew.
How much Wappler?
Will the mainstream media ever honestly report on Donald Trump or Joe Biden? And will the mainstream media be obsolete in the future? Josh, thank you for your
Thank you for Josh. No, they'll never object. To answer the first half, no, they'll never object. They're too far. They've dug their heels. They're too far gone at this point. To objectively report anything would be to admit that you have been lying for half a century, at least. So no. Do I think they'll be obsolete? I wish I could say yes, but no. They just morph into something else. There are 5 companies that control most of media. Right? There's ABC. There's ABC Disney, NBC Universal, Turner, and Comcast, News Corps, and there might be one that I'm forgetting. And I'm a contributor. I'm appearing on Fox.
Channel's having a hard time staying connected.
So I'd have to upload a clip and say, oh yeah, sure, great. So I did it, and then legal at Fox News, they would then reach out to me, and I'd have to remove it. They would say, yeah, because that's a thing. We don't want it. That's free is the enemy of premium. We don't want that getting out there. Well, yeah, but there's no other way to reach people. Like, you're in a basically closed circuit at this point, Fox News. My audience is much younger. I'd like to let them know that I would appear. They didn't want it. They thought that YouTube was a fad. Now, they dump
Fad?
Yeah, they dump tens of millions of dollars in, so that if you're watching an independent content creator, what do you see next? Something from Fox News. The people who spend the most amount of advertising on big tech platforms.
No, it's the signal here. Something's going on with the towers around here, I think. Even on the car's Wi-Fi, it's pretty shitty. The video I'm watching keeps cutting out as well. And that's on the... I turned the stream just to sell. It's Verizon. It's supposed to be decent. And then So
we don't want to.
what I'm watching is
Now,
cutting out. They're both cutting out.
Independent content creators. So, are these channels, well, you can look at the numbers, are these channels going to die eventually? I don't know that television as we know it is really going to be a thing in a few years' time. It'll still kind of exist. Maybe you'll see it at airports, but most people will be watching CNN from whatever they see on their Max app or streaming. They won't die, though, because there's not only a profit motive for big tech, they've also had a problem making money, right? They get these valuations and their prices get overinflated, and they still are losing money in a lot of cases. So they need to make money. And they go, we're not going to make money from these independent content creators, even though people are tuning in or using our platforms to watch them. Let's take the money from these big legacy media companies. So we're collecting some revenue. We'll give them a favorable platform. We'll basically provide favoritism through the algorithm that we will not afford to independent content creators, even though the market determined that they watch this content. And you add on top of it the ideological motive, as you see with Hunter Biden laptop, at that point, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all at once. They also really don't want to run the risk of independent content creators affecting elections, or, for example, letting you know that one period in time, maybe it wasn't a wet market bat, but a Wuhan lab leak. So ideologically, they want to get rid of that, right? So they're entrenched with government, and then financially, they're entrenched with these legacy media companies. So I do think that for a while, they're going to have a stranglehold. We're kind of seeing a migration back. At one point, you had 3 networks, ABC, FCC, CBS, and then it came to be, I don't know, somewhere, I don't know how many thousands of channels on cable if you take into account like the music channels that are just audio. There's so many. Yeah, those things that happen. So we're going back to now people have a few key memberships. It's more than 3, but like Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Amazon Prime, maybe Paramount Plus, you toss them there, Max. People maybe have about 10 subscriptions. And then those places also spend a bunch of money to get their clips on big tech and on YouTube platforms. Eventually, that's not going to work. Because, here's why. They can't create new content that people want. And this is where you come in. This is where you have a job to do. That's moving viewership over to Rumble. That's why we have Muggle. That's why we're bringing people in under the Muggle umbrella, because we want to provide added value to you. For example, there was we just found this out. For us, a lot of my viral videos that have exceeded like millions of plays in the last 2 months are just videos that have been ripped from my channel that I created years ago that are now being aggregated and run on Instagram and on Twitter and on Reels and on Shorts. Like one of them is me showing up as a genie in the Crowder Confronts, where the guy wanted to punch me in the face. And I should have said, "Your wish is my command." He tried to hit me with a beer glass. That has just been circulated now. People go, "Hey, isn't this funny?" And their business model is aggregate, clip. At a certain point, the well runs dry because you run out of content. And when that happens, you'll see the market shift back. You'll see it correct, and it'll be out of necessity. There will be people desperate to find actual content creators. Right now, it is a tough place. It's tough for people creating content, putting in the effort to compete with people who create nothing and then just curate and cut the best content with no attribution. It's a really tough environment, and we always have to adapt. But at some point, content is king, and at some point, they're going to have to replenish that well. The left can't do it as far as news, as far as media. The right doesn't really have a strong interest in doing it right now. That's why you see nothing but watching reality.
Oh, look, it's a Google Maps car.
Radio on a camera that they'll call a podcast, where they're kind of doing the bidding of the RNC sometimes, or people who determine what policies or what signatures are permissible. That's going to change at some point in time, but right now you're at that moment.
Fucking BMW.
This is one thing I don't want to say I'm proud of, but I'm
It's a
very
mini
grateful.
BMW, but
And I mean,
damn.
it's very grateful. We were just talking about this the other day.
This is Louder with Crowder, Mug Club.
Voter registration.
It's the Mug Club part of it.
These memes,
Where they swear and shit.
It said there were 1.2 million new registered voters in Texas in 2024 with no ID. That's not true. They said 200,000 in Arizona. That's not true. Now, we told you the
Oh
truth.
shit,
There
my other
are some
show's
real
on.
concerns,
Man, they went over.
with the voting processes in these places, and here are some
There's a broken border and an entire party that wants to.
This is Watching the Watchers.
Children, whatever. And
Members
still,
only
like,
show.
They control the levels of power. If they're the referees in the game, if they're the Jenna Griswolds with the crazy eyes, they still control all the power. So it's very hard to overcome that. And so maybe guys like this, Mark Elias, the guys who create the rules, are feeling confident because.
Damn, dude, really? You gonna pull out in front of me like that?
Here is this story.
The Democratic Party versus the GOP. And I was kind of thinking about this today as we're watching, you know.
Yeah, my stories.
Speaker Mike Johnson is in trouble right now as a result of his own party. Today, Trump is attacking a prominent Republican senator and huge ally of his. But you kind of have made this argument that the unison and the differences in those in the two parties will have a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff matters. I mean, part of what I do and other political analysts do is we don't just look at polling. You have all these other things to look at, right? The strength of the candidate, the arguments that they're making, how much money are they raising, the track record, right? But also about party unity and whether the team is together. The Democratic team is really together right now. I mean, you've just seen in the last 10 days, you know, Biden do events with Obama and Clinton and Bernie Sanders, and you know, there was no serious opposition to Biden in the primary. On the other side, Trump is facing unprecedented rebellion in the Republican.
I wouldn't call it a rebellion, but it's animus totally, right? Bush doesn't like Trump, doesn't want to be involved in his team in any way. You got like the Romney crowd, you got the McConnells, they're all dragging their feet. And it's the point, it's the same phrase we've been saying here for years now, that they would rather see their team lose than the star player win. And it's like one of those movies, you know, where there's that like spiteful kid. And then, you know, hopefully he kind of, you know, comes to a realization at the end. He's like, well, you know, I've grown as a person now, whatever the film is, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But he is spiteful, so he'd rather, like, sabotage his own people so that they don't win. And you go, what? And that's like 80% of the Republican Party.
Oh, that's fine. Someone.
Party from people like Mitt Romney and Liz Cheney. Seriously.
Most people aren't mods to really be modding. Most people are mods, so if they want to drop links or something like that, they can. And if they, you know, if I ask you to check a new person's channel, so.
Has splintered. I think something broke.
Yeah, I like other people to help newer creators as well. You know, when they come in and they're like,
"This was just
you know, I got a new channel. Can you drop it?" This way, you can just click on the person and go right to their channel to get their link. I don't understand why YouTube won't let you do that with everybody. Why can't you just click on somebody's name besides block them or report them? That's, as a regular user, that's all you can do. And you're only blocking them for yourself if, you know, you're a regular user, you know? No, I'm the only one that, unless I'm too busy to do it, that should be banning anybody. And that's pretty much how I act as a moderator anyway. I mean, I won't ban anybody unless the channel owner or creator asks me to. I'll time them out. But I won't ban them.
That's not exactly what happened. Okay,
you're definitely mod material for us.
So it is, you know, a fissure that could be.
No, not sensible at all. I really wish Rumble's getting better all the time, man. But man, they've got YouTube has such a long head start on this shit. I mean, I really like to stream on Rumble, but
and it animates people who are not otherwise.
There's so many glitches.
A lot of people might just say, okay, I don't want
it's getting better all the time, but still, it's
so I'm just going to stay home.
Long way to go.
Abortion, those people, particularly women, get activated. At level 11, energy comes coming out.
Well, and on Rumble, you can click on users, and it'll take you right to their channel.
Concerning, we've got some more thoughts and reactions. So let's go to the State Department and the State Dinner first. So here's what Hillary was wearing. So for our fashion gurus out there, you're gonna have to advise me on this. I don't know what this is.
Come on, dude. Seriously? You're in the fast lane doing less than the speed limit. It's misting. It's not even fucking raining hard.
This is Japanese. I don't know. Is it a flag?
Right. Especially for this.
Come on, dude. Get over. We got 5 miles to go still on this highway.
Oh, we're having a good time tonight.
I don't know, maybe it's nice.
He just didn't want to drive over the bumps, which I don't blame him. That's why I'm in the left lane.
Chinese? Is it Japanese? Chinese.
a lot
He's
of.
hanging out with the Japanese. So hopefully it's not Chinese. It kind of looks like the outfit that Mickey Mouse wore in Fantasia. I don't know what it is.
What type of device are you using, someone? 'Cause you could get it to like even call out the chat too. You can, depending on the device. Like my Samsung, I could get it to read chats.
I've done such a great job of total order. Thanks to
I mean, that might be annoying, especially if you're watching a channel. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Global, regional, and
Especially some of the stuff some people say.
So that's what that looked like. Now,
Turn that shit off when Chopper's in here. It's like, man.
Is doing. I'm sorry.
Maybe if
to this to you. I'm
old
sorry,
cell phone.
guys.
Okay.
I had to listen to it, so I don't have to listen to it. So I'm sorry to do it, but apparently Hillary is working on a musical.
By the time the cast and orchestra began rehearsing together,
Objecton Road in a half mile. All right, we'll see. Is this the object? Here's the hunk of tire. Looks like it's out of the road now. They moved the hunk of tire out of the way. This guy behind me definitely wants to run me without his lights on. In the rain without lights on.
All right, I don't even know what we watched right there.
Wipers on, lights on, right?
Oh, Hillary Princeton. She was reacting. Did you see her little Adolf Zeke Heil? What was that? Is that what that was? Hey, that wasn't Zeke Heil. Oh, Hillary. She's Zeke Heil. Whoa. That's appropriate for this Broadway nonsense. She's Zeke Heil for the whole crowd. Unbelievable.
You guys hear OJ died?
Hillary. Talk about dictatorship in America. Kind of fascist musicals. Wow. Hillary is right, Vegas. Hillary is right. Hopefully we hear the View talking about this Zeke Heil Nazi Clinton. So that's what was cooking over there. Now we got some questions about the polls, right? And we saw yesterday an exchange where Hillary, where the economy voters were all on a panel on MSNBC, and missed that was great. But they asked them, how do you think the economy did? How do you think the polls were doing? What you're doing?
What I heard. I haven't been able to verify it yet.
So we have some reaction to this. What else is happening, right? Are the polls real? Is that economic vote, that economic opinion going to show up in the polls? And we have this other segment that came out from CNN talking about how these voters are going to be reflecting from Joe, and it's black voters in America, which the Democrats absolutely need, because that's how they win elections. They just cobble together a bunch of different constituencies because they treat people like trading cards.
Well, President Biden is going to need a strong showing from his 2020 coalition of voters if he wants to win again in November. And right now, he's struggling with one key part of that coalition, CNN is finding: younger black voters. CNN's Renee Marsh sat down with students at HBCUs to dig deeper into why they're hesitating.
Yeah, what's up?
This November will be the first time Lonnie Wright and Rukia Garbo will be old enough to vote in the presidential election. And just the second time Malik Poole and Mosin Shora will cast their presidential ballot. None are planning to vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
If I were to vote tomorrow, I wouldn't vote, period. Ideally, I would like to vote third party.
I will vote for an independent candidate. I'm considering.
So we'll take that, right? It's like, hey, you're not voting for Joe, but you're not voting for Trump. That's okay, I guess. It's better than you voting for Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry you're disaffected, but yeah, I guess staying home is probably the logical.
asking either voting for Claudia de la Cruz or Cornel West at this point. If there is no substantive policy
Cornel
change
West?
when it
Oh
comes
my
to
God, dude.
genocide in Gaza, then there's not really a discussion for it.
Cornel West
When we
socialist
met at this
policies.
barbecue restaurant
He's a fucking
in Atlanta,
commie.
all four told me they were raised and originally registered as Democrats. But this year, the president's handling of the Israel-Gaza war has turned them away.
I think what Biden has done in aiding and abetting in genocide is just something I cannot stand for.
You're willing to withhold your vote in the presidential election unless there is a ceasefire. Yes. And it's implemented. Yes. Not voting could mean Donald Trump gets into office. Do you think he'll be better on Gaza?
Trump would probably say, flatten Gaza and make it into a golf course. I have absolute...
Yeah, maybe he would say that. I don't know. It sounds kind of like a Trump statement. I'm not sure if he would say that about this particular issue. But, I can see Trump say something like that about something. Probably not Gaza, but like ISIS. Yeah, how about we turn your ISIS holdout into a golf course? Put a nice little Trump building on there. How you like that? It's kind of funny. It's a funny thing. You might say something like that. But what's curious, right? This is the fissure that we've mentioned many times here. But does this parallel the abortion fissure on the Republican side? There is a group of people, I've seen them on X, who are saying, I'm staying home, I'm done. Like Trump, there's no way. And they were even more agitated after Trump came back yesterday and essentially condemned the Arizona new Supreme Court ruling that, reverts us back to the 1800 whatever law. So he said that will get modified and it will be essentially watered down and
sure will
brought into normality, so to speak. And people said, how dare he say that this is coming back to normality? So they're out. I'm out. No Trump for sure. But okay, so again, that's the question. So that would then enable Joe, who's going to come in and just fight.
Jesus, every way I'm going today is slowing me down.
One after another. So that's not very ideal. She's getting asked the same question.
Fuck.
Well, Trump's going to put a golf course on Gaza.
Believe no faith in him.
Would you not say that also the people who are not voting for one of the two people who are the likely people to really be in this race have a role to play in kind of giving the race to Donald Trump in a state like Georgia where it's going to be like razor thin?
Yeah, no, I'll do you one better, actually. I think that just means that's why the Democrats should listen.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like a
they won't.
Sort of Damocles, hanging over there.
Well, they'll promise you everything like they always do.
We gave you this power, and now we're going to take it away. Do what we want, or else. Right? You're beholden to us now. But what's going to make them come back and join the left and the Democrats? It would be like a total ceasefire, right? Like an actual conclusion to this, a solution, and probably a bunch of rights for their side, right? A very satisfactory solution as well. Something that is unlikely to happen, right? This conflict is not new, right? It's been going on for a little bit of time. And when we have the same terms that we have with Ukraine and Russia, for example, when Jake Sullivan comes out and says Putin has to be introduced into the International Criminal Court and brought up on charges and then imprisoned, and then we'll negotiate. We're like, what? Okay, that's not going to work out. That's obviously not going to happen. So it's a non-starter. And my question is for these four students, is what is a starter for you? And my guess is that whatever that is for them is going to be a non-starter for the other side. And around we go. Now, and again, maybe golf courses are a good idea. As I see here, they are very peaceful. You're right about that. Very green, walking around. In fact, maybe that could be a neutral zone, Golf courses. And if you want to beat your opponents, well, beat them on the course, all right? Israelis on one side, a bunch of Palestinians on the other side, all with their best golfers. And we can just see who wins, It'll be a lot better. But, all right, so this is what CNN is saying. So, these students are, here, let's listen a little bit more. Okay, actually, we'll fast forward through that. We got the gist of it. So they are not really excited about voting for Joe. We'll see if that changes. And, it might, right? A lot of this seems like it's jockeying, it's political posturing. You do this or else. When push comes to shove, when it's 2 days before the election or the day of, and they're going into the polls, are they really going to buckle from their trend? Right? Democrats are basically homogenous. They scream about how diverse they are. They're not diverse. I mean, maybe they have different races and they have different ethnicities and they have different, sexual preferences, but they're not really diverse in many ways, right? In the real way that matters, which is diversity of thought, diversity of action, willpower.
Yeah, he's turning.
In terms of manifesting new creative ideas in the world. They're basically just like carbon copy NPCs. You've seen the memes. All right, so here is what's cooking in Congress and related to Joe Biden. We know that there's an impeachment battle taking place, currently supposed to go over to the House of Representatives, and Alejandro Mayorkas was there with Kennedy, and Kennedy laced into him. So let's listen to Kennedy here for a little bit and see what he said.
Already got passed by the House.
For appropriations, I believe it was, in front of the Senate. This was yesterday, late. And here's what this exchange sounded like. We'll listen to a bit of this.
Mr. Secretary,
Alejandro Mayorkas, DHS.
I don't hate anybody.
That's good. You don't want that in your heart.
I look for grace wherever I can find it.
That's good. We're all human, you know. We make mistakes.
And I certainly don't hate you.
Yeah.
My chairman talked about the woolly mammoths in the room, and I'm glad he brought that up. The chairman's immigration bill was negotiated by two members of my party, Senator Langford and McConnell. I don't speak for either one. They're both good men.
But it was a terrible
The chairman
bill.
said that the Republicans
We're going to caffeinate this a little bit.
who negotiated his bill trusted him and wanted it there. And I'm not doubting his word.
Oh, correct. I mean, she's a fucking
It gives
moron,
me no
dude.
joy to say this, but most Republicans.
But I'm sorry. If I'm black,
a vast majority of the American.
I'm appalled.
Also true.
That's why you've been impeached. Now, my Democratic colleagues are going to try to sweep your impeachment under the rug and violate 200 years of Senate precedent in doing it. I don't think that they will be able to sweep the issue, maybe your impeachment, but not the issue, under a rug as big as the United States of America.
Well, we'll see.
Again, it gives me no joy in saying this. I think well more than a majority of the American people think your behavior and President Biden's behavior. Our southern border is an open, bleeding wound. I think they believe that our southern border is chaotic. I think the vast majority of the American people believe that a lot of it is political. I think a vast majority of the American people believe that it is chaotic by design.
Yeah.
And that clearly all of this is intentional.
And there's concept that the point of the system is what it does.
Look at the blooms. Cherry blossoms.
The point of the system is what it does. If you say that the point of the system is something, you can say that all you want, but it is what it does. That's the point. So just to be clear about that, like otherwise you're just deluding yourself, like you're talking not reality. What's the point of this border system? Well, it's the point of the border control system right now is to facilitate people coming into the border. Why? Because that's what it does. All right. So you can say that it's not
his whole life.
It's not the goal. But
well, sometimes
doing, right? That's the reality of the system.
I take them as a suggestion. If there's a red hair light and there's absolutely nobody coming in any direction, But that's the Detroit in me, where they quite often.
The vast majority of the American people who don't trust you believe in legal immigration. They don't believe in illegal immigration.
Yeah, it is a nice area. A lot of farms and stuff out here in southern Michigan.
And they think that's why.
But it's really beautiful driving through here in the fall.
And they think that your attitude and President Biden's attitude is that while they may be poorer under President Biden, that they're still.
Yeah, I like this drive
enough
better
to
than
lead
taking the
in
I-75. It's just a lot better environment.
I think
More
that
relaxing drive-in. It's a little bit longer. It's like 5 minutes more,
Isn't it a fact?
but usually a lot less traffic.
The number of illegal immigrants that you and the president allow into our country
Yeah.
counts for congressional district reapportionment.
Sir, I'm not sure I understand your question, but I can surely.
Are immigrants going to vote?
Isn't it true, Mr. Secretary, that the number of illegal immigrants that you and President Biden have allowed into our country counts for allocating electoral votes?
Same answer.
You don't know?
I don't understand your question.
Never crossed your mind?
The notion, Senator, that we intend to allow illegal immigration is nothing short of preposterous.
Well, why are they all here? Like, why are they all coming in here, right? Your intention is irrelevant to the question.
So you do understand the
Disrespectful,
question?
and if I may, it is disrespectful to the extraordinarily hard work that we perform, and far more importantly, that the personnel in the Department of Homeland Security and across this administration perform to stem illegal immigration, build lawful, safe, and orderly pathways, and invest in
The farther north you go in Michigan, the more you get, the more trees you get too. This is just, I'm only about 13 miles into the bottom of the state.
You do this every single time. You do this every single time. And it's a fact, and you know it, and I know it, that the more people you allow into our country illegally, the more people are counted for reapportionment.
Yep.
And the more people that you allow into our country illegally, the more people are counted for allocating electoral votes. Now, maybe that's a coincidence. That's a fact.
It's not a coincidence.
And you know that. And you've done nothing for 4 years. Nada. Zero. Zilch. And in fact, the only people I know in this country who are better off today than they were 4 years ago are illegal immigrants. And that's as a result of your policy.
Welcome in.
I don't hate you for
court dates. I mean, they get court dates, but they're not happening.
I don't hate anyone. But that's why you've been impeached. And my colleagues may try to cover it up. They're going to try to cover it up.
They will.
But they can't cover up the facts. I've gone over my time. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
All good, Mr. Kennedy. Well worth it. Thanks for the passion there. And yeah, that was the pound the table, right? Oh, don't you dare impugn my office. Give me a break.
What?
Come on, Mayorkas Alejandro. So again, the point of the system is what it does. It's intentional, as far as we can tell, because they made intentional actions that caused all of this to happen, and they haven't reversed any of those things. And we were calling this, everybody was calling this years ago.
You didn't know someone was a female? That's got, I get it. I you know, there's been a lot of people that I had no idea too.
And they give them benefits that cause.
You don't hear their voice, so it's.
So not only are the disincentives removed, but
there's no women on the internet.
It's like you've got something pushing people to come. Pull, push. Oh, great. So why don't you just put a conveyor belt down there at the border, idiot? Right.
Anna's the exception.
The title of today's.
But she's one tough woman.
Stream. We had this disinformation surprise. Some sort of October surprise.
Yeah, I wish you, you know, instead of all these different smiley face
morning, I posted
avatars and everything like that, you had like color coding. Like color code the outside circle of it.
So
if it's multicolor, yeah, I get it.
Over at the lodge. But there was an FBI warning as well. FBI's warning
Hunky
on
Commodore
coordinated attacks over there. So I linked to this one. Christopher Wray is going to be testifying that the FBI is concerned about a new organized attack coming after Moscow killed 144 people. So we're all kind of, everybody's on pins and needles, you know, just waiting around for something to pop off. And Ray's going to be testifying today. In fact, I had this open on C-SPAN. Let's see if he's doing that today, right now. No, it'll be a little bit later, so about an hour and a half from now, he'll be live. So Christopher Wray's out. He's talking about this stuff. You know, critical, we got to secure our nation, wide open border. We'll see if something, you know, ultimately does pop off. So that's over at the lodge. also over at the lodge. So I just posted this. Go check this video out. I made this one last night. And this one these are the seedlings. So they're now planted, and we are going to be waiting for them to emerge into the world. And so that's what it looks like. You can see we've got a bunch of stuff in there. And so if you want to go watch that one, that's also over at the lodge in the news and stories section. So having fun. We'll keep our eyes on that. Of course, see if when those things pop off, start growing up out of there. So what else we got? All right, so disinformation, right? Here is Comer saying, yeah, I don't trust the intelligence community at all. Zero confidence in them. And to wait for something to happen. Here's Comer.
Do you think there will be an October surprise before the November election from the same intel people who are involved in this anti-Trump behavior?
I wouldn't be surprised one bit if there weren't. I have zero confidence in our intelligence community. They have been able to get away with things that they should have already been, at the very least, terminated, if not incarcerated for. So nothing would surprise me, and I think we need to do everything in our ability in Congress to limit them from having tools necessary to repeat that.
Do you think?
So, all right, so that was the FISA debate. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, something else. I'm also sort of waiting for maybe another indictment to drop, like in Arizona. We have our Attorney General, Chris Mays, who's doing her investigation. So maybe we're waiting for another indictment to drop from Trump. We might see something like, actually, Marco Rubio was saying something today about Iran, Israel.
Hey, Jared.
There was an interesting take on this. Marco Rubio it's like pretty plugged into the intelligence apparatus for whatever reason. And people were pointing out that he was calling the Russian invasion when that happened pretty quickly. He was saying, like it's going to happen. Or I think he said that he confirmed that Russia was invading like 3 hours before the rest of us knew. And he also posted something, I don't know if I bookmarked it, I was trying to find it. But he also said something like, okay, Iran and Israel is about to be popping off here any minute. Yeah, here it is. I didn't say it. Marco says, Iran wants to launch a large-scale attack from their own territory against Israel. Said Israel will respond instantly with an even more severe counterattack inside of Iran. What happens next is the most dangerous Middle East moment since 1973. And he's like kind of plugged in, and people are saying, uh-oh, what does he know? What we're all a little nervous about. So is there going to be a black swan incident, some sort of a black swan event that pops off? Hopefully the answer to that is no. We got some Trump updates as well. So Trump was out on the campaign trail, and there was a great exchange here. I had a better version of this one also. And it was a funny exchange, man. Trump this is just funny, he's got charisma. Here is this exchange. So this was fun.
The Chick-fil-A?
Trump, he was at, I think, this might have been a Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I think this was a Chick-fil-A. Right?
That was funny.
Chick-fil-A. He walked in, he's like, I need 30 milkshakes for everybody. And then this is what happened.
Well, we took care of those colleges.
Sure did. Much better than mine did. So I want to this is Cork Atlanta, this is Stallman, this is Morehouse, this is Morrisville, and all that. So I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a hug.
Please thank you! Tell my mama I made it!
Well, we took care of those colleges.
I'm going to tell my mama I made it. Heck yeah, man. Nice hug from the president. So he's out there campaigning around. We had some pretty interesting clips. Here was some reaction to yesterday. So yesterday we had the segment of Michael Avenatti, who was on with this guy yesterday. What's his name? Ari. And
I'll go live again from the desktop, from the main channel.
For having Avenatti on. Why'd you
Just give me a couple minutes to get set up. I don't know how many interviews are going to actually come today. Rain usually means I get cancellations.
The Bragg prosecution,
but you never know.
At the wrong time and all that stuff. We listened to it. It's pretty damning from somebody.
Thank you for riding with me.
Stormy Daniels fan.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Lawyer.
Peace. Love you guys.
Abandoned ship once he realized.
Have a great one if I'm not able to make it.
So
I'll see you later.
Reflection on that segment from Ari.